Questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Benavides, the May 2023 Consumer Price Index showed that the cost of car repairs was up almost 20%. The National Auto Dealers Association found a similar kind of number with new car dealerships. Service and parts sales totaled more than $137 billion in 2022, which is again up from $125 billion in the year before. This could be attributed to a number of factors, including the inflation that we're all well aware of. Also, used and new car shortages, the complexity repairs, of course, which is what we're discussing, or just the labor shortage when it comes to maintenance technicians, kind of across all industries. Supporters of the chairman's bill, the SMART Act, argue that consumers could save as much as $500 by repairing their vehicle with an aftermarket part versus a dealer. Now, that seems low to me, but that's the number that we're using. So, Mr. Benavides, what are your strategies when you're trying to deal with the part shortages and the shortage of OEM parts compared to the shortage of aftermarket parts? What's kind of happening on the street, I guess, is what I wanted to know.
So through the pandemic, we had seen some OEM companies not have as many parts in stock as we used to. That has gotten significantly better. We support a competitive marketplace. We want competitive parts in our industry. But if you don't have the quality and safety aspect in them, if you just, in the SMART Act, it says similar appearance, right? If that's the only thing you're worried about, they're not apples to apples. We put on parts every day to secure my family, your family, in the next accident. When those parts lack the testing and the credibility to be on those vehicles, that's what hurts our shops, right? So we want that competitive marketplace. We just wanted to add quality and safety to it.
Very good. Switching topics here, Mr. Perzanowski. In the northern part of my congressional seat, John Deere Horicon Works exists, which is for the most part a factory that does most of John Deere's lawn care line. And we were pleased in January to see that the American Farm Bureau Federation and John Deere had signed a MOU. And basically the MOU guaranteed farmers and ranchers the right to repair their own farm equipment. And that obviously extends to other products in the John Deere line. But it's still too early to see kind of how this MOU is going to function or how it would work. But could you explain kind of what an MOU can do in this type of situation and what it does and what it doesn't do as far as farmers and ranchers?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So I think MOUs, these memoranda of understanding, which are private agreements between stakeholders in various industries to abide by a certain set of contractual provisions, can be helpful under certain circumstances. There was an MOU in 2014 that grew out of the Massachusetts auto repair law that I think has been very effective, not perfect, but effective. I think there are a few things that you need to see in these MOUs in order for them to be helpful in this situation, right? One, we need real buy-in across the industry. The MOU that was signed last week in the auto industry does not represent a significant portion of the independent repair community. John Deere is one company among a handful that dominate in the agricultural space. So even if they agree to a certain set of rules, that doesn't solve the problem industry-wide. It's really important that there is some enforceable legal set of rules here so that these things have real teeth. That's part of the reason things worked well in Massachusetts. When companies can just sign voluntary agreements that allow them to walk away at any point, that doesn't have a whole lot of meaningful enforcement behind it. The Deere MOU is also problematic, I think, on its substance. Deere agrees to provide one software tool to farmers, but as a report issued today by US PIRG demonstrates, that particular software tool is insufficient. It doesn't solve the problem that farmers have when it comes to initializing replacement parts, the part pairing issue that was referred to in some of the earlier statements. So I think they can be a useful tool, but oftentimes, frankly, I think they're designed to generate good PR and to confuse arguments around the need for legislation. So I think we have to look at them with some skepticism.
Thank you very much. I yield back, Chairman.
I thank the gentleman. We now recognize the